All right. Let's see if we got this here. There we go. Okay, we're recording audio and the camera is running. Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel, and we are doing another one of these one take, no edits, totally brutally honest guitar unboxing and reviews. Now I did one of these a little while ago with a Firefly guitar, and this was like the heavy relic strat, right? Well, people really like that video. They like the format, especially for a low budget guitar like the Firefly. And today I've got another Firefly, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do an unboxing. I've got the box right here. You know, I have not opened this at all. This could be a box full of sawdust. I have no idea. It could be completely broken, hopefully not. We're going to open up the box. We're going to pull the guitar out, look at the packaging, look at the guitar itself, and then we're going to do a review. We're going to plug it in. We're going to listen to how it sounds, all that good stuff. Now, real quick before we go on, and before I forget, if you guys enjoy videos like this, checking out cool new affordable guitars, and also staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you have not already subscribed for some reason which I cannot fathom, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, so let's get right into this. So, like I mentioned earlier, this is another Firefly guitar. This is actually one of the more expensive Firefly guitars, and what I mean by that is this one costs around $220. So by Firefly standards, that's expensive, but of course, by guitar standards in general, it's a screaming deal. Now, the thing is, in some ways, the guitar I'm going to unbox is conceptually similar to the Firefly EVH-inspired guitar, right? Now, the reason I say that will make more sense later on in the video when you actually see this guitar. So, whoops, geez, I'm just knocking stuff all over here. See, normally I would edit that out so people don't see me, you know, breaking my own guitars and stuff. Prototypes even. But no, we're just going to keep the cameras rolling here. So, let's go ahead, and I have to keep fixing my hair. Gosh, you know, this is the kind of stuff that normally gets left on the cutting room floor, as they say. But anyway, we're good. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up here and see what we have in store. So I said it was similar to the EVH guitar, but this guitar is going to look nothing like the EVH guitar. But like I said, it'll make sense when you see it. And I really want to get your opinion on this guitar because, you know, there were some strong opinions with the EVH guitars. Some people were like, oh, hey, it's a cool, affordable option if somebody wants the EVH Eddie Van Halen stripe design, but obviously they don't want to pay for a Charvel, and it's not a one-to-one copy. You know, Firefly, they've got their brand, they've got a different headstock. The stripe patterns are not exactly the same as an actual EVH guitar. So some people was like, hey, it's really cool. You know, people that can't afford something like a $1,000 guitar can get a $200 guitar from Firefly. That's awesome. But obviously there were a lot of people who were like, no, it's obviously inspired by EVH and Eddie Van Halen, and the fact that, you know, it's not like an officially licensed product, blah, blah, blah. People were upset about that, and the crowd was pretty split on it, honestly. And this guitar here is going to be, I think, possibly along those same lines. Now, you know what? Somebody who was a real smarty pants in the comments last time I opened up one of these boxes said, you know, Max, if you open the other end of the box, the styrofoam inside comes out much more easily. And what do you know? They are absolutely correct. So, we'll get rid of that box. And the way they do the modern packaging on these Firefly guitars is really cool because the whole thing is put in this, you know, it has this styrofoam insert with a lid on it. Kind of like a little bit like a coffin in a way here. So we're just going to open this, and what I like to do is I open one side of it, and then you can open it like opening a book. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at what we have. Okay. So first I'm going to pull out the standard Allen wrench and so forth. I don't think we're going to need that, not for the review anyway. And then let's go ahead and take this out, and you can probably tell right away this is a single cut, aka Les Paul style guitar. And we'll go ahead and pull this out. Sorry about all the noise here. We'll get rid of the styrofoam. Okay. And here is the guitar. Yeah, this is going to be cool. Let's go ahead and take it out of the wrapping here. Yeah, way back in the early days of Firefly stuff, you know, the packaging wasn't nearly as good as it is now, and there were a lot of cases of guitars getting damaged in transit. But that is a thing of the past with this new packaging. Wow, this neck is comfortable. So yeah, obviously a Les Paul style guitar. But wait a second, locking tuners. Cool burst finish. Okay, let's go ahead and not waste any more time here. This video is going to be long enough as it is already. Look. Get out of here. Look at this. Wha-bam! Look at that. That is a nice guitar. And oh, no, I don't want to show you the back just yet. Whew. Looking good there. Okay. I'll show you the back in just a minute. First, let's take off pickup covers. Feels so good. There we go. Okay, so guys, let's talk about this. Now, I know the specs of this guitar, which I'll tell you in a second. And there are some cool features on here that are not found on other guitars, other Firefly guitars. And again, $220 guitar. So what is this? This, like how the red and white and black stripe guitar was inspired by EVH, Eddie Van Halen, this guitar is inspired by Adam Jones, the guitar player from Tool. So in the same way, it's not absolutely identical. It's not like a Chibson or something like that. But it is an obviously, you know, taken inspiration from that. Now, if you go to the listing for this guitar on guitarsgarden.com, which I'll have a link to in the video description below, obviously they don't say Adam Jones Firefly on there because it's not like an official product, you know, because his signature guitars are with Gibson and Epiphone, and they are cool guitars, but they are very, very expensive. Basically 10 times what this one costs. But the overall look of the guitar, the color, you know, the sort of pewter burst, you know, they call it a silver burst, but it's got a slightly yellowish silver look to it. And the fact that there's an open coil humbucker in the bridge and the covered pickup in the neck, and then something special about the back of the guitar, those are the same, it's the same kind of look that you would get with one of those Gibson Adam Jones guitars. So, now, let's look at the back of the guitar. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, so one of the really distinguishing characteristics of the Adam Jones signature models is they have fantasy artwork on the back of the guitar. And it's not this artwork, this is different artwork, right? So they're not using the same artwork. But it's the same concept, right? It's like a guitar that looks similar with some kind of fantasy artwork on the back of the body, and this is very cool. I think this is called the Tiger Queen, which you can see obviously there. Now, something I'm going to do here, man, trying to get these hairs to lay down here. Something I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and do this one take, no edit, non-stop, you know, single camera review, so you guys know that I'm not fudging anything here. You know, I'm not doing like a big setup after I get it out of the box. If I do any setup adjustments, you guys will see me do them on camera. I've got the audio recording here, you know, no edits at all. But after this video, basically at the end of this video, I am going to put some close-up stills, you know, photographs of the guitar, the artwork, and, you know, close-ups of the binding and the hardware and all that stuff. So I don't want to put them in the middle of the video because then I'll have to cut the video and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there it is right there, Tiger Queen. Now I think they've got 2 different versions of the artwork. At least that's what I saw on the website. And aside from the artwork, multiply binding on the back of the body, multiply binding on the front of the body. You guys see the pickup arrangement there. Standard controls, 2 volumes, 2 tones, 3-way toggle. Locking tuners, very nice. Also, it's hard for me to verify this, but according to the listing, they're using roasted mahogany for both the neck and the body. Okay, some of the other new, very modern companies are, what is it, like Latitude? Is it Latitude? Irt? I don't know. Some of the companies are using roasted body woods as well as neck woods, and Firefly is doing that now too, at least on some of their models. And of course, stainless steel rounded ball in frets, 22 frets. And this down here, aside from the locking tuners, it's got a roller bridge here. And yeah, bone nut. So pretty amazing specs for a $220 guitar. Now, we'll plug this in and play it in just a minute here. But I'm taking a quick look, and I don't see any high frets, anything like that. Honestly, the neck, the fretboard and neck is actually a little too flat for my taste. So I probably will do a truss rod adjustment later on. But I'm not going to adjust anything right now because I want to give you guys the demo of it just straight out of the box. The strings that it came on, the strings that came on it. Not in tune, but it's not that far out either. So, okay, let's go ahead and plug this in and listen to how it sounds. So I'm going to hook this up. I've got to unmute my DAW here. Okay, got my pick. I apologize for the noise, but again, I don't want to edit anything out. Wha-bam. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. I gotta get my tuner. See, I'm not totally prepared here. So, while I'm doing this, I want to tell you guys real quick. Has anybody out there ever thought about starting their own YouTube channel? Or maybe you already have a YouTube channel and you want to grow it to the level where you can really make a career out of it. You want to do what I do. For the past 5 years, I have not had a real job. I was able to quit my totally lame day job 5 years ago and just start doing the Guitar Max channel full time. And I've been doing that and I love it. It's a wonderful life and you can do it too. How can you do it? Well, by going over and getting my new course, my online course about how to have a YouTube channel. And this is geared towards musicians, right? If you want to do what I'm doing, or if you want to do something a little bit different, but still kind of music oriented, that's the course for you, okay? There's a, I think, relatively low one-time fee. The course, it has over 3 hours of just videos, okay, to watch. Then there's a whole bunch of written material as well. And it really is designed very just specifically to help you jump ahead, right? Whether you're starting a new channel or you have an existing channel and you want to grow it faster, get it to the point where you can turn it into a career, okay? If you want to do that, that online course is specifically for that. Anyway, I want to recommend it, of course, and there's going to be a link for that down in the video description below. But let's go ahead and tune this bad boy up here. So let's check it out. And again, this is the kind of stuff I would normally cut out of the video, but we want to see, is it hard to get in tune? These tuners are very smooth, I gotta say. The tuners feel very consistent. There's no slack in them. Okay, so very easy to tune. I'm going to put my, that's Pano Tuner. It's the app I'm using on my phone there. And yeah, let's listen to how this thing sounds. The pickups seem pretty hot. Very pronounced difference between the two pickup positions. The bridge pickup in particular is very hot. Neck pickup, not so much. Definitely not weak, but it's just more kind of medium. Good sustain. So one thing I noticed right away when I'm playing this is that there's a lot of resonance in the body. You guys have probably experienced this with electric guitars. Some guitars are kind of dead feeling, and some of them you can really feel them vibrating a lot, even if you're just playing it acoustically, like not plugged in or not turned up or something. This guitar, I can really feel a lot of vibration in it, which is cool. I personally, I mean, people argue about this all the time, but I think that contributes a lot to the sustain. Looks like the tuning's slipping a little bit here. Let's check this out. That's not that bad. Nice. Okay, so the frets are great. Like I said earlier, it looked to me like it needed a little bit of truss rod, a little bit of neck relief, but I'm not having any issues with that when I'm playing. If you are getting some choked notes in the middle of the fretboard, that's usually the cure for that, is to give a little bit more relief in the fretboard by adjusting the truss rod. And on this guitar, I'm not having any problem at all, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it alone. I'll let the guitar sit out for a few days and get adjusted to the climate here, and then I'll check it again and see if, at that point, if I have to make any adjustments. So it's like perfectly level, the fretboard right now, and usually you want a little bit of relief in there, you know, a little bit concave. But yeah, anyway, that's what I'm getting at, is it plays great right now out of the box, but of course I'll check it again in a few days. So now let's check out a little clean here. People always criticize me for not doing enough clean. It's not quite clean, but cleaner. Okay, you know what? Actually, now that I've got it on the clean, I don't know if you probably can't hear that. It's probably not coming through the amplifier, but I am getting a very slight buzz, and I'm playing on the 7th fret, key of B. I'm getting a very slight buzz, and if I go, yeah, right about there. So 8th, 7. So 6, 7, 8 on those frets. On those frets, 6, 7, 8, I'm getting a little bit of buzzing. And it's on the lower, the bassier strings. So that's, you know, and that is what you would expect when you need to make a truss rod adjustment. So I don't think it's any issues with the frets or anything like that. I think it just needs a little bit of a setup adjustment in terms of the truss rod. You know, maybe something with the bridge, but the bridge looks pretty good to me. Okay. Fun stuff. Okay, so let's see here. A few things here about it. This is, it's a little on the hefty side. Let me weigh it here, and I'm going to use my luggage scale. And you'll have to pardon me for, I normally don't like to show this on camera because I actually hang the guitar by the tuner. Let's see here, 8.6 pounds. Okay, 8.6 pounds. A little more than 8.5. You know, people really get all bent out of shape sometimes over, you know, 7 versus like 8 pounds on a guitar. It's really not. I mean, for how big the instrument is, it's really not that big of a difference. To me, 8.5 pounds is not heavy. Certainly not for a guitar. When you get to 10 pounds, that's a heavy guitar. But for a Les Paul style guitar that's not chambered, 8.5 or 8.5, even up to 9, is really pretty reasonable. And the guitar, like I said, it feels resonant. You can feel it vibrating, and it just feels very solid. Also, the frets are always really nice on these guitars because there's absolutely no sharp fret ends. I was talking about this actually with Richard James, the Bald Shredder, just recently, and we were talking about the fact that with these rounded ball fret ends, they don't quite reach the edge of the fretboard. And he was telling me how that kind of annoys him because he doesn't like the fact that they're a little short, right? Within reason, I kind of like that because then the neck can shift a little bit after you get the guitar. Usually you have this fret sprout problem where the wood shrinks a little bit, but the metal of the frets doesn't shrink. And then the frets end up sticking out on the corners, and then you get sharp fret ends. I hate that. With these frets, because they're already a little bit short, it's like it's anticipating that the wood is going to shrink a little bit. So it would have to shrink an unrealistic amount to where you'd actually have fret corner problems on the guitar with these frets. So I really like that. It also almost gives the corner of the fretboard like a rolled feeling. That's not rolled. It's just a regular corner there. But it feels like that. The only thing, I always complain about with necks is when there's a gloss finish on the back of the neck, which this guitar has, but hey, that's what you expect with a Les Paul style guitar, so I'm really not going to complain too much about it. And if you really wanted to, you could always sand off the gloss on the back. For me, that always makes the neck slicker and faster feeling to have a satin finish on the back of the neck. But as far as the fretboard, which is rosewood, which I forgot to mention earlier, and the frets themselves, nice, beautiful pearloid block inlays. It's a wonderful feeling neck. It plays great. Like I said, in a few days I will make a truss rod adjustment to it. But yeah, overall it's great. I'm really impressed with the tuners. I'm impressed with the sound, especially the bridge pickup. I really like the bridge pickup. The neck pickup is, it's actually a little on the low side. It has a nice sound. It's just not, you can tell it's not as hot as the bridge pickup. But, that's not the end of the world. But yeah, guys, there we go. That is the kind of pseudo Adam Jones guitar from Firefly. Now, again, I want to go back to this overall concept here. What do you think about these guitars that Firefly is making where it's kind of, it has an obvious influence, right? It has an obvious inspiration, but it's not an official one of those guitars, but at the same time, it's not an exact copy either. This guitar, they've got obviously their brand name. It's a different headstock. They've got different artwork on the back. Nobody's gonna think it's a counterfeit, or no one's gonna accidentally buy this thinking that they're buying a Gibson or something, obviously. So, but what do you guys think about that? Some people are like, hey, do it. People need more affordable versions, and some people are really against it. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know down in the comments section below. And aside from all that, what do you guys think of this guitar in terms of the sound and the looks, especially? I think it's really cool. I love the artwork on the back here. The Tiger Queen. Okay. So guys, that is pretty much it for this video. But again, stick around because at the very end of this, I'm going to give you some nice close-ups of what this guitar looks like, the hardware and the artwork on the back and all that stuff. So guys, thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be links for everything, including my new online course down in the video description below. And I will see you in the next video.